The stars outside the viewport blurred into lines as the Luna's Pride dropped out of hyperspace. Dr. Alex Morrison gripped the railing, trying to steady his legs after the rough transition. Space travel still made him queasy, even after 6 months, in deep space. "We've reached the Halcyon system, everyone," Commander Lisa Hayes announced over the intercom. "Prepare for landing sequence." Alex rushed to the observation deck. Through the massive windows, he saw something that took his breath away. A purple moon hung in the dark void, 3 times larger than Earth's. It glowed with a soft, alien light, promising mysteries that made his scientist heart race. "Beautiful, isn't it?" said Rachel Green, the security chief. She handed him a cup of coffee. "But remember, we're not here for sightseeing." The Luna's Pride descended through thick purple clouds. When they broke through, Alex gasped. Forests of crystalline trees stretched across the landscape. Rivers of liquid that definitely weren't water sparkled under twin suns. Strange flying creatures danced in the sky. "Landing in 30 seconds, Lisa called out. The ship touched down with a soft thud. Within hours, the research team set up their base camp. White tents sprouted like mushrooms on the alien soil. Dr. Ben Parker immediately started collecting plant samples. Dr. Nina Walsh began scanning for signs of civilization. Alex focused on the strange creatures he spotted at the forest's edge. "Day 1 on Halcyon 7 is going well," Alex recorded in his daily log. "The biodiversity here exceeds our wildest predictions. I've identified at least 20 new species in just 4 hours." But something felt off. The creatures he spotted never came close to camp. Even the flying things kept their distance. "They're avoiding us," Rachel noticed. "Like they're afraid." "Of what?" Alex wondered aloud. Dr. Katie Chen, their biochemist, ran over with wild eyes. "I found something in the soil samples. High levels of quantum particles. This moon has been terraformed." Before anyone could respond, the ground shook. Trees in the distance bent at impossible angles. A sound like breaking glass echoed through the air. "Everyone back to the ship," Lisa ordered. But Alex froze. Emerging from the crystalline forest came a creature from his nightmares. It stood 12 feet tall on 6 legs that ended in razor-sharp claws. Its body was covered in plates that looked like living crystal. The plates shifted colors as it moved: purple, blue, green, red. Its head had multiple eyes and mandibles that could easily crush steel. "Krillian!" screamed Dr. Danny Rivera, their astrogeologist. "Run!" The research team scattered. Some ran for the ship, others dove into tents. Alex remained still, watching the creature that every species in the galaxy feared. The Krillian moved with deadly grace. Each step left deep impressions in the ground. Its crystalline plates caught the sunlight, making it appear to glow. As it drew closer, Alex noticed something odd. The creature was limping. "Alex." Rachel grabbed his arm. "Move." The Krillian stopped 50 feet away. Its multiple eyes focused on them. The plates on its body shifted to deep red, a warning color. Alex's training as a marine biologist kicked in. He'd seen similar behavior in Earth's apex predators. "Wait," he said. "Look at its right foreleg." The creature's leg was mangled. Purple fluid oozed from a deep wound that had turned black with infection. The Krillian made a sound like wind chimes being shattered. Pain. "It's hurt," Alex realized. "It's also the most dangerous predator in the galaxy." Lisa pulled her weapon. "We evacuate now." But Alex couldn't leave. His scientific mind raced. Every record about Krillians said they were mindless killing machines. But this one was clearly in pain. Slowly, he raised his hands and took a step forward. "Dr. Morrison," Lisa shouted. "Get back here." The Krillian's plates shifted to yellow. Caution? Interest? Alex took another step. He'd treated injured animals before, even dangerous ones. "I'm a scientist," he said softly, though the creature couldn't understand English. "I help things." From his belt, he pulled out his medical kit. Earth's veterinary tools worked surprisingly well on alien life forms. He opened it slowly, showing The contents. The Krillion's plates flickered between yellow and blue. Its head tilted, studying him. The movement reminded him of a curious dog, not a mindless predator. Rachel kept her weapon trained on the creature. "Alex, if it moves wrong, I'm shooting." "If it wanted to kill us, we'd already be dead," Alex replied. He took another careful step. The standoff continued for what felt like hours but was probably minutes. Finally, Alex was close enough to smell the creature. It smelled like ozone and pine trees. He could see his reflection in its crystalline plates. "I need to clean that wound," he said, reaching slowly for his medical supplies. The Krillion made a gentle chiming sound. Its plates turned a soft green. With movements that seemed almost careful, it extended its injured leg toward him. Alex's hands shook as he cleaned the infection. The wound was deep, caused by something with a serrated edge. As he worked, the Krillion's plates shifted through a spectrum of colors. It was like watching an aurora dance across its body. "Fascinating," he muttered. "Some kind of communication system?" Lisa's voice crackled through his earpiece. "Alex, you have 5 minutes before I'm dragging you back to the ship." He applied antiseptic. The Krillion flinched but didn't pull away. Instead, its plates pulsed with warm gold. Was that gratitude? "I'm just trying to help," Alex said, securing a bandage around the massive leg. When he finished, the Krillion stepped back. For a moment, they studied each other. Then, with a sound like crystal bells, the creature turned and disappeared into the forest. Alex stood there, covered in purple blood and quantum residue, as the reality of what happened sank in. He'd just treated the galaxy's most feared predator, and lived. "Did anyone record that?" he asked. Dr. Jim Thompson, still hiding behind a rock, held up his camera. "Every second, Dr. Morrison, every second." As they returned to base camp, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't the last time he'd see that particular Krillion. Something in those multiple eyes suggested intelligence, not mindless hunger. That night, as he cleaned his equipment, Alex's mind raced with questions. What were Krillions really like? Were they truly as dangerous as everyone claimed? And why did treating one feel like the most important moment of his scientific career? He made a note in his journal. First contact. With Krillion specimen. Injury suggests it may have come from a fight. Its behavior contradicts all known data. Must investigate further. Outside his tent, something chimed softly in the darkness. When Alex rushed out to look, he found a small crystal left at his tent entrance. It pulsed with the same gentle green, light he'd seen on the Krillion's plates. The creature had returned, and it had left a gift. This changed everything. Alex woke to the sound of crystal chimes. At first he thought he was dreaming, but the gentle melody continued, coming from just outside his tent. He grabbed his flashlight and stepped into the cool morning air. There, sitting like a giant cat, made of crystal, was the Krillion. Its plates glowed softly in the pre-dawn darkness. When Alex appeared, its colors shifted to a warm yellow, the same shade as when they first met. "You're back," Alex whispered. The creature made a series of chiming sounds. Its plates rippled with patterns that reminded Alex of ripples in water. As he watched, fascinated, the Krillion extended its injured leg. "You want me to check the wound?" Alex fetched his medical kit, still amazed at the situation. Other crew members began emerging from their tents, drawn by the sounds. Rachel immediately had her weapon ready. Commander Lisa stepped out last, already giving orders. "Team, maintain. Safe distance. Dr. Morrison, you have 10 minutes. Alex removed the old bandage. The wound looked much better. The infection had cleared, and the flesh was healing. "You heal fast," he noted, applying fresh antiseptic. As he worked, the Krillion's plates shifted through beautiful patterns. Alex noticed something remarkable. The patterns seemed to match his movements. When he cleaned gently, soft blues and greens. When he pressed harder, hints of orange appeared. "It's communicating," he said excitedly. "The color changes aren't random. They're responding to me." Dr. Steve Campbell appeared, his quantum physics equipment in hand. "The energy readings are incredible. Those plates aren't just reflecting light, they're generating quantum fields." For the next several days, Alex spent hours with the Krillian. The crew named it Crystal because of its crystalline appearance. Each morning, Crystal returned to the camp. Each evening, it disappeared into the forest. Alex brought notebooks, cameras, and recording equipment. He documented every color change, every pattern, every sound. Slowly, he began understanding. Green means comfortable or content, he explained to the team during dinner. Yellow is curiosity, blue is, it's complex, but maybe understanding? And red definitely means danger or warning. And purple? Asked Dr. Nina Walsh. That's new today. I think it means friendship. Commander Lisa wasn't convinced. It's a predator, Alex, don't forget that. But Alex had already forgotten. Crystal never showed aggression. Instead, it displayed behaviors that reminded him of highly social Earth animals, wolves, dolphins, even primates. On the 5th day, Crystal brought friends. Alex was collecting soil samples when crystalline chimes filled the air. Crystal appeared, followed by 2 smaller Krillians. Their plates shimmered with nervous yellows and cautious oranges. Pack members, Alex realized. Crystal's introducing me to their family. The smaller Krillians kept their distance at first. Crystal moved between them and Alex, its plates showing reassuring greens. After an hour, they came closer. One had a scar across its chest. The other moved with the grace of a dancer. Alex named them Scar and Grace. He shared water and ration bars, though he wasn't sure if Krillians could eat human food. To his surprise, they accepted the gifts, their plates turning grateful purple. By week 2, the visits became routine. Crystal and its pack arrived each morning. Alex taught them basic hand signals. They responded by creating specific plate patterns. Communication was happening. But not everyone was happy about the development. A council ship appeared in orbit one morning. Commander Lisa received an urgent transmission. The entire crew gathered to hear the message. A holographic alien appeared. Tall, with 4 arms and a face like an octopus, it was a Galactic Council representative. This is Counselor Vrek 5. The Luna's Pride is ordered to evacuate immediately. Your interaction with the Krillian is a threat to galactic security. Lisa stood straight. With respect, sir, we're conducting peaceful research. You do not understand the danger. Krillians are beyond communication. They exist only to hunt and kill. Your actions risk spreading this threat to other systems. After the transmission ended, debate raged through the camp. Half the team wanted to follow orders. The other half supported Alex. We've achieved something amazing, Alex argued. Crystal isn't the monster they claim. None of them are. Look at the data. He showed his research. Videos of Crystal carefully avoiding stepping on small creatures. Images of the pack sharing food. Recordings of their complex communication system. Evidence mounted against centuries of galactic belief. Rachel proposed a compromise. Let's invite other scientists to observe. If Alex is right, proof will change everything. That afternoon, Alex sat with Crystal explaining the situation. He didn't know if the creature understood English, but Crystal seemed to sense his worry. Its plates shifted to soothing blues. More humans come, Alex said, gesturing to the sky. Scientists. They need to see you're not dangerous. Crystal made a questioning chime. Dangerous means bad, hurting others. Alex mimed fighting. Crystal's plates rapidly cycled through colors. Finally, it performed an action that shocked everyone watching. It extended one massive claw and carefully drew in the dirt. The drawing showed a Krillian walking away from smaller creatures instead of attacking them. It understands, whispered Dr. Ben Parker. It actually understands and can represent abstract concepts. Crystal created more drawings. A Krillian protecting other creatures from a meteor, Krillians building structures, even what looked like a star map. They have history, Alex said. Culture, art, everything we thought was impossible. News spread fast. Soon scientists from Earth and various alien worlds requested permission to study the phenomenon. Even some council members showed interest, though officially they maintained their warnings. During this time, Alex learned something crucial. Crystal could manipulate quantum fields not just for communication, but for practical purposes. It demonstrated by removing a large boulder, blocking a stream without touching it. The rock simply floated aside. This technology alone could revolutionize space travel, Steve noted, his instruments going crazy with readings. But with fame came danger. Unauthorized ships began arriving. Some wanted to capture Krillians for military purposes. Others planned to sell them as exotic pets. Crystal's pack grew more cautious. Late one night, Crystal woke Alex with urgent red flashes. Something was wrong. Alex followed Crystal into the forest despite Lisa's protests over the comms. They found a camp of poachers, beings from 3 different species, armed with stun weapons and containment pods. They planned to capture Krillians while everyone slept. Crystal's plates showed pure crimson. For the first time, Alex saw the predator everyone feared. With precise movements, Crystal disabled weapons and equipment. The pack appeared from shadows surrounding the poachers, but instead of violence, Crystal made them leave. It displayed patterns that even the alien poachers understood. Go away and never return. You protected us, Alex realized as they returned to camp. Even though we're alien to you. Crystal rubbed its massive head against Alex's shoulder, plates pulsing with that special purple. The gesture was unmistakable, trust and affection. By month's end, Alex had compiled enough evidence to present to the Galactic Council. Lists of new technologies, evidence of Krillian intelligence, recordings of peaceful interactions. I'm requesting a hearing, he told the team. It's time the truth was known. As he prepared his presentation, Crystal and its pack stayed closer. They seemed to understand that change was coming. Something big was happening, and humanity had become the bridge between Krillians and the rest of the galaxy. Alex looked up, at the stars that night, Crystal beside him. Their friendship had already shaken beliefs across light years of space. What would happen when he stood before the council and proved everything they knew was wrong? Change was coming. And it sparkled, with crystal light. The Galactic Council's silver spire rose from the artificial moon like a needle-piercing space. Alex stood before its enormous doors, his presentation device clutched in trembling hands. Ambassador John Wright, Earth's representative, placed a steadying hand on his shoulder. They've agreed to hear us, John said. That's more than I expected. The doors opened silently. Inside, the chamber was massive. Representatives from 23 species sat in curved seats rising toward a domed ceiling. Alex had never seen such diversity. Beings of gas, crystal, metal, and forms his brain struggled to comprehend. The Council recognizes Dr. Alex Morrison of Earth, announced Counselor Rec 5, the octopus-like being they'd met via transmission. You have 1 Earth hour to present evidence that challenges our fundamental understanding of Krillian nature. Alex took a deep breath. Crystal wasn't here, it was too risky, but he carried recordings and data that would speak for them all. For over 1,000 years, the galaxy has classified Krillians as mindless predators, Alex began. I'm here to show you evidence that this classification is completely wrong. He activated his presentation. The hologram showed Crystal's first approach, the healing session, the gift exchange. Gasps echoed through the chamber. They communicate through quantum plate adjustments, Alex continued. Each pattern combination has specific meaning. They show problem-solving abilities, artistic expression, and most importantly, compassion. The presentation showed Crystal's drawings in the dirt, their quantum manipulation demonstrations, and the pack's social behaviors. Some council members leaned forward with interest. Others muttered skeptically. This is not conclusive, said a reptilian delegate named Skara. You show us a few tricks. We've all heard reports of Krillians learning to mimic behavior before attacking. Alex had prepared for this. Then explain this. The hologram switched to the quantum energy readings Dr. Steve had recorded. Complex equations and particle interactions filled the air. Krillian quantum manipulation operates at a level we've never seen. They don't learn tricks. They understand fundamental physics in ways that could advance all our technologies by centuries. Murmur ran through the chamber. The silicon-based Thornak delegates, known for their engineering expertise, leaned forward with intense interest. What you propose is impossible, declared a floating energy being. Krillians have attacked countless vessels, destroyed entire colonies. Have they? Alex challenged. I've reviewed incident reports. Most encounters involve Krillians defending their territory from illegal mining operations or protecting endangered species. When was the last time a Krillian initiated unprovoked aggression? Silence fell. The delegates looked at each other uncertainly. Let me ask another question, Alex continued. Why do Krillians avoid all first contact protocols? Why have they never responded to any communication attempts? He displayed new data. Because those protocols assume vocal or radio communication. Krillians use quantum resonance. We've been speaking the wrong language for a millennium. Counselor Zornak, a respected Alani energy being, spoke up. If what you claim is true, Dr. Morrison, why did Krillians never correct our misunderstanding? Would you try to communicate with beings who call you monsters? Who shoot first and ask questions never? Alex's voice rose with emotion. This is my proposal. Let me bring a Krillian delegation here. Let them speak for themselves. The chamber erupted in debate. Species shouted at each other in languages Alex couldn't understand. Security moved toward the podium as tensions rose. Counselor Rec 5 banged his gavel equivalent. Order. We will vote on this proposal after a recess. During the break, Alex paced nervously in the antechamber. Ambassador Wright tried to reassure him. You've done well. Some council members are already changing their minds. Some isn't enough, Alex replied. Lives depend on this. A message appeared on his personal device. It was from Crystal, somehow sending quantum patterns that his translated device converted to text. Trust and truth. When the council reconvened, they delivered their decision. The vote is 14-9 in favor of Dr. Morrison's proposal. A Krillian delegation may present to this council. However, military presence will be maintained for security. Victory felt hollow. Alex knew the hard part was just beginning. Back on Halcyon 7, Alex met with Crystal's pack to explain the situation. Crystal had grown more than the pack. The creature now seemed to lead all Krillians on the moon. When Alex described the invitation, Crystal's plates swirled with complex patterns. Danger, Crystal communicated, but necessary. 3 Krillians volunteered for the delegation. Crystal, Scar, and a new individual Alex named Scholar for its love of learning human science. They practiced quantum communication that Earth devices could translate to multiple languages. The journey to council space took weeks. Word of the upcoming meeting spread like quantum particles across the galaxy. Some species threatened boycotts. Others demanded observer status. Military vessels from both the Korath Empire and the defensive Aryan Federation positioned themselves near the council station. This could spark a conflict, Admiral Hayes warned. The Korath see Krillians as potential weapons. They won't want them allied with anyone else. Then we need more allies, Ambassador Wright replied. He worked tirelessly to build support among moderate council members. The day of the hearing arrived. 3 Krillians appeared with Alex before the full council. Their appearance caused immediate chaos. Security raised weapons. Some delegates evacuated. Others stood their ground in fascination. Please, Alex called out. Give them a chance to speak. Crystal stepped forward. Its plates blazed with patterns that the translation devices struggled to convert. Finally, words appeared in all languages. We Krillians claim ancient wrong. Guardians, not hunters. Protect life. Seek harmony. Scar continued. Our quantum understanding, gift to share. Build bridges, not weapons. Scholar added mathematical. Equations that impressed even the most skeptical scientists. Partnership. Benefits all. The presentation lasted hours. Krillians showed star maps of systems they had protected, biological data of species they had preserved, and offers of technological cooperation. When they finished, silence filled the chamber. Finally, Counselor Vrek 5 spoke. This changes much, we believed, but words alone cannot repair centuries of fear. Crystal responded. Action proves words. Small start. Watch. Learn. Trust grows. The council debated for days. Alex, Crystal, and the delegation waited anxiously. During this time, something remarkable happened. Individual species began approaching with questions. The scientific Vicari wanted to study quantum manipulation. The artistic Zethrani requested cultural exchange programs. Even some Korath military observers seemed impressed by Krillian defensive techniques. Public opinion is shifting, reported Rachel Green, who had joined as security detail. Your viral videos from Halcyon 7 changed minds. People see the truth now. The final vote came on the 8th day. Councillor Osmar announced the results. By majority decision, this council acknowledges Krillians as a spacefaring civilization capable of diplomatic relations. All former warnings are rescinded. New first contact protocols will be established. Victory. Celebrations erupted among Earth and newly allied species, but the Korath delegation stormed out, their military commander Vex 9 making threats. This is not over, he declared. Crystal remained calm. Its plates showed steady green confidence. The journey ahead would be difficult, but the truth had been acknowledged. Weeks later, as they prepared to return to Earth, Crystal shared something profound. Using quantum patterns and Earth-built translation devices, it revealed, many species still misunderstood, like we were. Will you help? Alex smiled, understanding the responsibility that came with their friendship. They had bridged one gap between species. Now they needed to bridge many more. The Luna's Pride departed for Earth carrying new hope. In its cargo holds were designs for ships that combined human ingenuity with Krillian quantum technology. In its crew quarters, Crystal taught advanced physics to eager human scientists. Ambassador Wright summarized it perfectly in his report. Contact between humans and Krillians has opened doors throughout the galaxy. We stand at the beginning of a new era of understanding. Many challenges remain, but we face them together. As they entered hyperspace toward home, Alex felt Crystal's massive presence beside him. Their friendship had changed the galaxy's understanding of its most feared predator. What other truths waited to be discovered? What other bridges could they build? The stars blurred into lines of possibility, and Alex smiled, knowing that their biggest adventures still lay ahead. Earth had never seen such activity. Ships from 20 different worlds descended on Luna Station, the new facility built to house the Human Krillian Research Program. The station floated between Earth and its moon, a testament to what could be achieved when fear gave way to cooperation. Dr. Steve Campbell watched his breath crystallize in the airlock as he prepared to dock. The quantum physics laboratory he'd designed here would be the largest in known space. At his side stood Crystal, whose plates glimmered with excitement. Ready for your new home? Alex asked, squeezing Crystal's massive leg. The station hummed with activity. Scientists from the Vicari Empire installed specialized equipment. Members of the aquatic Zen people worked in flooded sections, studying how Krillian quantum effects influenced water molecules. Human engineers collaborated with Thornak builders, creating spaces that could accommodate multiple species. Alex had been appointed Director of Cross-Species Relations. His first challenge came immediately when a Korath delegation demanded entry. We come in peace, their leader, Subcommander Exthar, claimed. We wish to observe these advances. Welcome, Alex said cautiously. But understand, this is a research facility, not a weapons development center. Of course, Exthar agreed, but Alex noticed how the Korath soldiers kept their hands near their weapons. Days turned into weeks of discoveries. Crystal's pack grew, as other Krillians came from distant worlds. Each brought unique abilities and knowledge. Luna Station became a meeting place unlike anything in galactic history. Dr. Katie Chen made a breakthrough when studying Krillian biology. Their quantum abilities aren't just a skill, they're literally built into their DNA. This could revolutionize medical science. But progress bred jealousy. The Korath observed everything while sharing nothing. Their questions focused on combat applications of Krillian abilities. Alex's unease grew. The turning point came when Crystal detected unusual quantum signatures near the station. Its plates flashed urgent red warnings. Alex sounded the alarm just as 3 Korath battlecruisers dropped out of hyperspace. "This is Fleet Commander Vex 9, a voice boomed over station communications. "By authority of the Korath Empire, surrender all Krillian subjects for protective custody." The station shields raised automatically. Crystal and the pack prepared for defense, but Alex stopped them. "No violence, not yet." Ambassador John Wright opened channels. "Commander Vex 9, your actions violate the Council Treaty. Leave immediately." "The Council Treaty means nothing," Vex 9 replied. "Krillians are too dangerous for free association. They belong under military control." Chief Security Officer Rachel Green readied the station defenses. Human guards took positions alongside Krillians, creating an unprecedented defensive line. Even the observing Korath soldiers seemed uncertain, caught between orders and reality. "Crystal," Alex said quickly, "we need to show them cooperation, not conflict. Can you and the pack demonstrate defensive quantum shields?" Crystal's plates shifted to understanding green. Within minutes, the Krillians created a shimmering barrier around Luna Station, using coordinated quantum fields. The barrier wasn't meant to attack. It redirected energy harmlessly into space. "Amazing," breathed Dr. Danny Rivera. "They're protecting everyone on the station, even the Korath observers." The battlecruisers fired warning shots. The quantum barrier absorbed the energy and dispersed it as harmless light. The Korath observers saw firsthand how Krillian technology defended then destroyed. "Stand down!" Exthar suddenly commanded his troops. "The doctor is right. This is not a weapon. It's a shield." Vex-9 grew desperate. He launched boarding pods carrying dozens of elite Korath warriors. But Crystal and the pack had prepared. They didn't fight the attackers. Instead, they used quantum fields to gently but firmly redirect the boarding pods back to their ships. "Fascinating tactical approach," noted Admiral Hayes, who had arrived with Earth's defense fleet. "They're winning without violence." The standoff continued for hours. News spread across the galaxy. Other species watched to see what humanity would do when threatened with their new allies. Scholar suggested a bold move. "Invite Vex-9 aboard. Show him truth." Alex hesitated. "It's a huge risk." "Truth always is," Crystal communicated. With council approval, they offered safe passage to Vex-9. The Korath commander arrived armed and suspicious. Crystal met him personally, plates showing calm blue. "You fight without fighting," Vex-9 observed. "This is weakness." "It's evolution," Alex replied. "Let us show you what we've discovered." They toured the lab facilities. Vex-9 saw Krillians teaching quantum manipulation to species who would have run in fear weeks ago. He watched them solve engineering problems for the Thornak miners. He observed them creating stable portals that could revolutionize space travel. "They could have weaponized any of this," Vex-9 muttered. "They chose not to," Alex emphasized. "Just as we choose cooperation over conquest." The revelation came when Scholar demonstrated quantum archaeology, using their abilities to read ancient data from destroyed planets. They showed Vex-9 records of Krillian saving his own ancestors from a solar flare millennia ago. "Your people lived because Krillians protected them," Scholar communicated. "Old fear forgets old friendship." Vex-9 stood silent for a long moment. Finally, he spoke. "These actions contradict everything I learned about Krillians, but evidence..." He gestured to the data. "Evidence cannot be ignored." The tension broke when Crystal offered a formal greeting, the quantum pattern that meant honored equal. Vex-9, moved by the gesture, returned the salute in Korath tradition. The crisis ended not with battle, but with understanding. Vex-9 withdrew his fleet and joined the research project as an official Korath liaison. The council praised both human diplomacy and Krillian restraint. But the victory came with awareness. More threats loomed. Species who'd exploited the Krillian monster myth for centuries faced exposure. Mining companies who'd claimed abandoned Krillian worlds now faced rightful owners returning. Religious groups whose teachings depended on Krillians being evil needed new doctrine. "Change creates chaos," John Wright warned at the next meeting. We must prepare for more conflicts. Alex nodded. They established new protocols. Krillians would teach defensive measures to peaceful species. Humans would mediate disputes using their unique position as first friends. Together they would build the first true galactic alliance based on mutual respect. Dr. Ben Parker discovered something remarkable while studying old Krillian data. Look at this. The Krillians tried reaching out peacefully centuries ago, but every species rejected them. We're not special because we're human. We're successful because we chose to listen, and because they chose to reach out one more time, Rachel added, watching Crystal interact with a group of wide-eyed young scientists. The incident with the Korath changed galactic perceptions. Species began requesting Krillian assistance with problems previously considered unsolvable. The Alani energy beings wanted help understanding quantum dimensions. The Aryan Federation asked for help detecting space anomalies. Even former enemies approached with science questions. Luna Station expanded rapidly. Docking bays accommodated ships of every design. Translation centers buzzed with activity as more species shared knowledge. Libraries filled with data from previously hostile civilizations now eager to cooperate. 6 months after the standoff, Steve made an announcement that shocked even veteran researchers. By combining human innovation with Krillian quantum understanding, we've solved faster-than-light navigation. We can explore beyond the galactic rim. The implications were staggering. Species previously isolated could now connect. Resources could be shared across vast distances. The old order crumbled as new possibilities emerged. Crystal addressed the station's population in the main hall. Its plates shimmered with pride and hope. Old story ends, new story begins. Humans showed way, others follow. Galaxy grows stronger, through connection. Alex watched species once mortal enemies working together on experiments. He saw children from different worlds playing without fear. He observed former council members rewriting laws to remove species-based discrimination. Late one night, as he prepared research notes, Crystal found him. The massive being curled up in the specially designed common area, its plates shifting to gentle purples and golds. "Tired?" Alex asked. "Content," Crystal replied. "Friendship changes everything. One choice, one human, one Krillian, ripples across stars." Alex leaned against his friend's crystalline side, thinking about that first frightening encounter. How close they'd come to following old patterns of fear. How one decision to help rather than harm had sparked a revolution. The station grew quiet as shifts changed. Outside the windows, Earth and Luna shared their ancient dance while surrounded by vessels from across the galaxy. Inside, scientists from dozens of species slept alongside their former worst nightmares and woke to a future built on trust. "What's next?" Alex wondered aloud. Crystal's response needed no translation. Its plates formed the pattern that meant, together, a promise that whatever came next, they would face it side by side. 5 years after first contact, Luna Station gleamed like a jewel in the void. Alex stood on the observation deck, watching Crystal interact with a group of young students from 12 different species. His reflection showed gray starting at his temples, a reminder of how much life had changed. "Hard to believe it all started with a medical kit," chuckled Lisa Hayes, now Admiral Hayes, commanding the joint fleet that protected the station. "And one brave choice," Alex replied. The galaxy had transformed. Krillians now staffed diplomatic missions on the more remote worlds they'd protected for centuries. Their quantum technology revolutionized everything from medicine to space travel. The feared predators had become respected teachers, sharing knowledge that pushed science forward. Dr. Rachel Green entered the observation deck, excitement radiating from her. "Alex, we've received an emergency transmission. The Council wants us to investigate reports of another dangerous species that nobody can understand." Alex smiled, recognizing history repeating. "Where?" "Sigma Octantis system. Level 9 threat according to the database. The creatures reportedly attack anything that approaches their planet." "What's the species called?" "Voidwalkers." Crystal approached, having overheard the conversation. Its plates shifted to thoughtful yellow. "Familiar pattern. Fear of unknown creates cycle. Break cycle again? Together, Alex said without hesitation. Within days, a joint expedition prepared to depart. The Starlight Harmony, the first ship designed for multi-species crews, would carry humans, Krillians, and volunteers from species who had learned to value understanding over assumptions. Ambassador John Wright had aged gracefully, but remained sharp. This is what we've prepared for. The galaxy needs bridges, not walls. As the crew prepared for departure, Crystal presented Alex with a gift, a small quantum crystal that would translate even the most complex communication. For speaking with silence, Crystal explained. The farewell ceremony gathered species from across known space. Children who had grown up seeing Krillians as protectors rather than predators waved goodbye. Former military officers who once threatened the Alliance now offered protective escort. The Korath sent their own ambassador to formally join the mission. 5 years ago, I sought to imprison Krillians, Vexnime admitted to the assembled crowd. Today I welcome their wisdom in understanding new life. As the Starlight Harmony engaged its drives, Alex felt a familiar mix of excitement and apprehension. Beside him, Crystal's presence brought comfort. Across the bridge, humans worked alongside, beings they'd once only encountered in nightmares. Captain Quantum drives ready, reported engineer Nina Walsh. Crew stations confirmed, added Security Chief Steve Campbell. Alex took the command chair, Crystal settling beside him. Set course for Sigma Octantis. Perhaps the Voidwalkers simply need someone willing to listen. The ship jumped to hyperspace carrying the hopes of a changed galaxy. Outside the viewports, stars transformed into lines of light, racing toward another chance to bridge the gap between fear and friendship. Somewhere ahead waited creatures the galaxy had already condemned as monsters. But Alex and his crew knew better. They carried the greatest weapon against misunderstanding, willingness to reach out instead of retreat. As the Starlight Harmony hurtled through the fabric of space, a message echoed through the ship's communication system. Crystal had composed it, a quantum pattern that translated into words of hope. To those who wait in shadow. We come not with weapons, but with healing. Not with judgment, but with understanding. One friendship changed our worlds. Let us show the universe what understanding can achieve. Alex smiled as the message repeated itself, broadcasting ahead of their arrival. The journey would be long, but they no longer traveled alone. Humanity had learned that the scariest monsters often made the most loyal friends, and sometimes, the greatest horrors became the brightest hopes. 5 years after one human's choice changed the galaxy's most feared predator, Alex Morrison flew toward new horizons. Crystal's massive crystalline form shifted beside him, plates pulsing with the colors of anticipation and trust. Together, they would write the next chapter of galactic history. The stars blurred, and the future brightened with possibility. The end.